All right, Kathleen Peddicord, we are going to talk about the 12 important items before buying properties overseas. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. So number one, you're saying, is the location good? What do you mean by that?
Well, obviously in real estate, location, 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 that's everything. But when you're looking into a foreign country, looking to go into a foreign country, you want to focus big picture within the country, a region within the country. That can be based on lots of things. If you're buying for lifestyle, it's just where you want to be. Do you like it there? If you're buying for investment, it comes down mostly to what we call path of progress. Where is the infrastructure going? Where is foreign investment happening? Where is the government supporting investment and development? So you'll focus your search regionally in that way. Then within the region, you want to go and spend time on the ground. I really recommend boots on the ground, literally walking the neighborhoods. There's no better way to get to know a place than by walking up and down the streets at different times of day. When is it noisy? When is it quiet? Is it a busy bus route? Are there nightclubs that come alive at 11 o'clock at night? What kind of construction is going on? What are they building? Are they building high rises that are going to block your view? Or are they building charming little residential houses that you'd be happy to live next door to? Is there a park? All the different things that you want to have for your lifestyle if you're buying for personal use. And then those lifestyle things are important as well if you're buying for investment, because if you're buying to rent, your renters are going to enjoy them. If there's a park down the street, that's a big plus for you if you live there, but also for your renters. If there's a metro station or a bus stop on the corner, that's great for you, but also for your renters.
Fantastic. Okay, number two, when you're thinking about buying a property overseas, you should consider what's going on next door.
Exactly. And I mentioned this already, but this is critical. Don't buy on the coast of a place on a beautiful Caribbean island because you've got a beautiful view of the Caribbean Sea and the beach right in front of you, but there's a vacant lot between you and the water without confirming what eventually might be built on that vacant lot. Are there restrictions or not? And if not, could they build a 20-story building that would block your view entirely?
All right, number three, would you need your own car?
This is important, again, for you and also if you're buying for rental investment for your renters. A car is a big expense. If you're going to be coming and going from this place on vacation or part-time living, you're going to have the cost of a car year-round and maintenance and on, even when you're not there using it. And likewise, your renters, well, they have to rent a car to be able to comfortably enjoy the property. Much better if it's in a place that's walkable or where public transportation is, right around the block.
All right. When considering buying overseas, number four, in which direction is the path or progress moving?
So exactly, and again, this comes into play for both agendas, if you're buying for personal use or for investment. If you're buying for investment, one of the best ways to lock in some future appreciation is to find out where a new road is being paved, where a new highway is being built, where access is being improved to the beach, for example, where a new airport is going to be opening up, where a new hospital is going to be opening up, all things that are going to drive more attention and more traffic and mean that you have a greater pool of potential renters, and also that you're going to have some good reason to believe your property is going to become more valuable because somebody else, the government, for example, is investing in improving the area.
Fantastic. Number five, what is the condition of the property overall?
You want to look, not if you're buying an apartment, for example, not only at the apartment, but the building. So does the facade need to be painted? Is the landscaping being maintained? Is the garbage being collected? You want to look at the state of things overall, especially when you're buying in a multi-unit dwelling.
All right, when considering overseas buying, number six, how strong is the homeowners association, or we just give the acronym HOA?
Exactly. And that's, again, if you're buying in a multi-unit dwelling, it could be a high-rise apartment building, or it could even be a duplex or something where you're sharing with other owners expenses and responsibilities, and there's some kind of homeowners association, HOA. You want to make sure that it's active and strong and solid. You should ask to see the books. Do they have some reserve cash put aside for emergency big ticket items? For example, if you're in a high-rise tower, what if the elevator needs to be replaced? Or what if the roof is leaking and you need to put a new roof on? Those are big cost items, and you want to make sure that the HOA has some reserve. And also, very important that the members of the HOA are paying. It's not uncommon in foreign markets to find that there are a lot of absentee owners, and if they're not living in the building, they're not so worried about keeping up with their HOA payments. What do they care if the building's repainted? They're not living there.
Yeah, good point. All right, number 7, how many units are for sale?
Exactly. As a percentage of the overall number of units available, if it's a 24 unit building and 20 units are available for sale, well, that would be a red flag. There's some reason why everyone's selling out and looking to move on.
All right. Now, if you're just tuning in, we've got Kathleen Peddicord here, and we're talking about 12 important items that you must consider before buying overseas. So now we're at number 8, and that is what kind of cars are in the parking garage. I can't wait to hear about that one.
I love this one. It's so practical, but you think about it, it's so sensible. When you're looking in a high rise or an apartment building, take a minute to walk around the parking lot, and if you see old, beat up, well-used, well-worn, 10-year-old plus cars, well, that gives you an idea of who's living there. If you see a bunch of Jaguars and Porsches, that gives you an idea of who's living there. And probably, you're making a leap, but probably the owners of the Jags and the Porsches are going to be more likely to pay their HOA fees to contribute and be responsible neighbors.
Very good. Okay, so another thing we have to consider when we're buying overseas or investing overseas is how many unsold units remain. That's number 9.
Exactly, because if you're buying into a multi-unit building again, pre-construction or even after it's been built and delivered, if more than half of the units haven't been sold, that's another red flag. That means there's probably something wrong. Maybe you haven't been able to pick up on it, but there's some reason they're struggling to sell, to fill the building.
All right, very good. Number 10, how is infrastructure being funded?
Right. If you're buying into a pre-construction project or a land development project, you don't want to be buying into something where the developer is using cash flow from sales to fund all the infrastructure. It can work, it can be okay, but it's very risky because what if sales fall off? What if sales aren't what the developer hopes, expects, wants them to be? Then his cash flow dries up, and that can mean the infrastructure comes to a halt. And you're buying because you want, of course, access and electricity and internet and all of the usual services that you're going to count on. But if the developer can't fund them unless he has ongoing sales, it's a big risk. You want a developer who has some other financial resources of his own or investors who are going to be able to carry on with infrastructure even if sales fall off.
And a proven track record as well. All right. What about number 11? What is the competition in the area? This is a good one.
Well, you want to look around and see what the different choices are for buying. And so say, for example, years ago in Punta del Este, Uruguay, which is on the coast of Uruguay, a resort town, very popular among Brazilian and Argentines who love the beach, great beaches. I knew 2 developers that worked there. One was building right in town, which wasn't the nicest spot, but he was building very affordable units, 75,000, say. Another developer was in a better spot outside town and was investing more in marketing, in promotion, and in infrastructure, frankly. But his units were so much more expensive. He was investing in bringing a lot of attention to the area, but it was the developer A, the one selling for $75,000, who benefited. Your attention will be drawn by someone. Say, in that case, you heard about the developer outside town promoting and selling for $400,000 or $500,000. But once you get to the area, look around and see what the other options are. There was another option in town, which was more accessible, although not as big, flashy of a development, but a fraction of the cost.
All right. Now, number 12, I'm going to tease here, of course. This is, can the developer deliver what he's promising? And you've written a detailed 10 questions to ask before investing with a developer overseas. I think what we'll do, of course, for that number 12, because this is important, is we're going to post that list on social media, and we'll also put it on our website. So that way it makes people have to listen, check it out, visit, and they can, of course, visit your website to learn more as well. So how do they do so, Kathleen?
It's liveandinvestoverseas.com, all one word, no hyphens or dashes or anything. And on the homepage there is a place where you can sign up if you'd like to hear more about this on an ongoing basis. Sign up for the free e-letter that we publish.
Huge fan of yours. Great job.
Thank you.